Jenny from Just Being Me, and you're listening to the Learning to Love Yourself podcast, the show that inspires you to put yourself first.
Learning to love yourself on the path to happiness. Learning to love yourself on the path to happiness.
Today we're chatting to Su Pearson, who is somebody that's been around in my networking world, and I've met lots of people online because of the fact we had COVID, didn't we? So, that's how we all kind of met. We would never have met if we didn't have COVID. So there was something good that came out of it. And Sue has been very definitely on her own self-care journey, and I've been watching it from afar. And it's just amazing now to see on the podcast. But if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll be able to see, but on the podcast to see just how amazing Sue does look. Her journey has been amazing. So Sue, tell us a little bit about yourself and why you wanted to put a self-care regime in for yourself.
Okay, so hello, I'm Sue. I am 44. I am a mum of 4 now grown-up children. And I'm also a carer to he's my partner, but I say husband because we've been together for 26 years. So he's my husband. So yeah, I'm his full-time carer. I'm into arts and crafts. Like you said, I love my self-care. That is one of my biggest passions. And it's just so important.
Why did you feel that you needed to put a self-care regime?
So it actually came about from a breakdown. And that's when I found that I had to look after myself. And it's just progressed from there, really. The pattern of it built up.
Kind of a really pivotal moment, isn't it? Is the fact that actually you sink or swim there, and unfortunately, whilst everybody else can hold our hands, we have to do it for ourselves.
Yeah.
So what sort of self-care do you do?
My self-care is anything from grabbing a cup of coffee to my skincare to having a shower in peace, and it be longer than 5 minutes, or just to sit in the garden. That is because I am basically housebound with my husband.
Yeah.
Because I have agoraphobia as well. So that being the mix of everything, we're together 24/7.
On the relationship then?
Yeah. So to get my space, I'll take myself out into the garden on the days that I'm able to enjoy coffee in peace.
Yeah. And this is one of the things that I'm trying to develop a short period toolkit for everybody to use, because everybody thinks that you need to have so much time. The amount of people that, I'm working with who start off their session with me is, I don't have time for self-care.
Yeah.
And actually it's so important. Listening to what goes on in your world, if you didn't take that time, how would you feel?
Well, it ended up where I had my breakdown.
So the breakdown did come from being a full-time carer and...
Yeah. I have suffered with mental health basically all my life.
Yeah.
But it was because I was not putting myself first, and I was too busy looking after, even though they're grown up, the children, making sure they were all okay. And obviously my husband looking after him 24/7. And I just burned out. And I'm still in recovery now, but I'm a lot better than what I was this time last year. I didn't think I'd still be here. So
it's a scary moment, isn't it? And it's a defining moment in your life. And it just shows you how important self-care is. And it's not taking yourself off for a weekend away, and it can be, absolutely, but it just needs to be those small things, doesn't it? Consistently.
Yeah, that's it. Like you say, people say, even to myself, I don't know how you can find time for yourself when you're a full-time carer. Just that 5 minute, just go upstairs to the bathroom, pretend you're going to the toilet and just sit on the edge of the bath for 5 minutes, just for some pee,
Absolutely. So I have to say, I'm just developing, and it's going to be called something like the toilet break self-care kit.
Yeah.
Because you can do it in the time it would take you to go for a week, basically.
Yeah.
So, and those are the times, isn't it? And being a carer, it's like being a mum, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the same process in the fact that somebody else, when you're a mum, you have children, I am a great advocate for you put yourself first, but there are times when you're a mum and when you're caring for somebody, you can't put yourself first. You're there to put their needs first, which makes it even more important you find time for you, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Do you do specific things each day? Do you do something when you wake up, or do you just go when you need it?
It's a bit of both, really. So I try and work out, depends on the night we've had. Because if he's had a bad night, then I know he's going to have a lie-in the morning.
Yeah.
So I can then judge, well, I can get up a little bit earlier than what he would, and I can have that coffee in peace.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have to sacrifice a bit of sleep, even if I haven't slept in the night, just to get that 5 minutes to myself. And it is important to do that. It really is. Just 5 minutes.
It sounds like that there's a good routine for you then that says, okay, actually, this is my time.
Yeah.
And it's just a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
But it's the time that your mind can do what it likes to do in that time. But you are literally, it is a hot drink, and you're literally allowing your mind to do what your mind needs to do at that point in time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's such a simple thing that we don't do, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And it's, as parents, when the children are younger, we've all said it, just to have that hot cuppa.
Yeah.
And it is as simple as that. And it is about, as I say, for myself, sacrificing 20 minutes less sleep or half an hour less sleep to have that hot coffee. It is worth it.
When I was talking to somebody else the other day, they were talking about a shower by themselves.
Yeah.
It's the same things, isn't it? It's the things that actually we should take for granted that sometimes we can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know from when I first met you during COVID and to now, the calmness about you.
Yeah.
It's a completely different feeling when you're speaking to you. It's a completely different feeling, which is wonderful, absolutely wonderful to see. And I love seeing a self-care journey. It just makes me feel amazing. So, do you also think that having the right people around you to support you?
Oh, definitely. That is a big one. I've had some relationships that I thought were the bee's knees. They were the best thing. And it turned out that it wasn't. That's including family members as well as friendship. I've had to put some family aside, not completely knock them out of my life, but put them to the side, because the things that they were sharing, because obviously I don't get to see my family a lot, just my children really, but the things they were putting on social media wasn't doing me any good. And again, that was through my recovery that I've learned all that. And it's the same with people, some people that you meet in person, some people that you meet online. Yes, you can click, everything's great, but then slowly but surely they start to show their true colours. And it's when that happens that you realise, I need to step back now before it gets worse. And I had to do that, unfortunately.
But it's amazing that you've actually managed to recognise that, because I've been there myself. I've had to let people go. We're all on the same sort of journey. And it's really hard, recognising that these people are not actually doing you any good. B, taking that step to go, do you what? No.
Yeah. Very, very hard. But since I have done that, I don't know, it's just like this dark cloud has lifted a little bit, and I feel like I've got a life, got a great team backing behind me. It's amazing. It really is.
I see some of your posts for your team online, and I just think you must have so much fun together. And that's, actually when you're caring for somebody all day long, fun is not always that easy, is it? So to be able to have, some time with some friends or colleagues or work friends or whatever you want to call them, and just, have a bit of fun.
Yeah.
It's so important, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And I mean, we do things from silly face paintings to just sitting on Zoom together. If I'm having a bad day, I just go into my team chat and say, is anybody free?
Yeah.
And I could have about 20 of them all phoning me at once. And then it's like, no, let's go on Zoom. They're always there for you no matter what. It's brilliant.
And that's really important, isn't it? Having those people around you, because one person can't do everything for you.
No, that's it.
And having different people to go to. I always say, I've got my 4:00 in the morning friend. I've got my go travel the world friend. I've got my boost up friend.
Yes.
Having different people that can do different things for you, and recognizing that actually, so she's my 4:00 in the morning friend, but she may not be able to travel around the world with me friend. Recognizing the different bits in people, isn't it, as well?
Yeah, definitely.
And although we met on social media, on a screen, which, was so important in the days of COVID. There is something about now actually with your self-care being able to take yourself away from a screen, because everything is so instant now, isn't it?
Yeah.
And listening to you talk about being in the garden, that's a different type of support for you than chatting with your friends.
Yeah.
A different plots for you.
Gardening actually is part of my childhood. My dad and his father were both professional gardeners.
Oh, wow.
So I was brought up, obviously, with cutting the grass and planting the plants. And just to sit out there and mow, especially when people are mowing their lawns, the memories just come flooding back. And they are good memories. And it's silly things like somebody can put even, walking by, and you can see they've been to their allotment and they've picked their vegetables. And I'm like, I used to do that with my gran. And it just fills you with happiness and all sorts. And it does really boost me for the rest of the day.
It's amazing how there are things that you just take for granted, but actually when you do it consciously, and that's the difference, isn't it?
Yeah.
You actually consciously know that you are doing this to give yourself some time. It makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Now, I know that you are part of a team. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your team? And we will make sure that everything, if anybody wants to connect with you, we'll put all your links and everything below the podcast.
Yep, that's great. So I'm part of a team called Team Ignite, and our hashtag is Bring in the Fire, which goes with us all really, really well. We're just fun. We're just supportive. We're motivated. We're driven. We've just got such a mixture in there. And we all come together and we all fit nicely. I've got people in there that I've previously been, with them in a different company. I've got people that I know through networking. And it was like, oh, you're in this team. People that I thought I would never, ever reconnect with once I left my previous company. And they're all in there and we're all like, I know you. So when you start, you're not the new girl.
Yeah.
Which is very daunting for some people. But we just, as soon as somebody joins our team, you've been in our team for years, even though we've only been running since January. You have been part of our team for years.
Your company's been running for longer than that, isn't it? What's your company called?
Oriflame.
And so you sell products?
The beauty and wellness industry, we have everything from makeup, perfumes to wellness products, everything from baby up to the elderly as well. We cater for everybody.
So you're not only supporting yourself financially, you're also supporting yourself with your self-care with some of the products. It's been amazing chatting to you today. And I look forward to seeing more of your self-care journey, and hopefully we can get back on again in a few months' time.
Yeah, that would be brilliant.
Thank you ever so much for your time, and we'll speak soon.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome.
Thanks for listening today. If you'd like to know more, you can find all the links down below. Oh, and don't forget to press subscribe so you can catch the next one. See you soon.